Hello, my name is Samar. I also go by Sam or First Time Panner. Any of those who want to call me, you can. This will be an update for my Pan Those Palettes project. And this, I don't know I'm already stumbling on my words. I don't know when I'm going to upload this, but I am filming this about 2 weeks early because I was planning on filming a different video today, but I realized I couldn't film it because I forgot one of the items in a different city. So I have to wait till I go back there to pick it up. But I actually was able to film this today, which I'll get to in a bit. But I'll leave, just in case you haven't seen this before, I'll leave the playlist link below and at the end of the video. Or if you just want to get caught up, you can watch that. But this is just a project that I'm continuing from last year, where I try to pan one Frankenface palette, and then last year I was panning 4 palettes. I decluttered one of them and I continued panning the other 3 this year, but at the end of the year will be my final time with these palettes. I've said I'm not going to pan palettes 3 years in a row, but yeah, I'm just continuing panning all 3 of these.
Okay, sorry, I had to pause because Roxy was using a litter box, and my cats do that thing where, I feel like a lot of cats do this, where they just like scrape the sides of the litter box instead of like actually shoveling litter over what they just did. They just like scrape the sides of the litter box. So yeah, that's like, oftentimes I have to pause for that.
But I'll just get started with the least exciting one, and for the first time that is not my face palette, that is this eyeshadow palette. Like I said, it's only been about 2 weeks since I filmed the last update, so I guess it's a bit understandable that I have not used this one at all. This is the e.l.f. Rose Gold Nude palette, and I have hit pan in one of the shades, and last update I really expanded the pan a lot, but I have not used this since then just because I've been so busy with all of the eyeshadow that I've been panning in other projects and the other palettes here. So yeah, this did not get any use from me these past 2 weeks, but I have gotten a tan, and this is like an all cool tone palette, so this is not really my time to use it, especially because now this shade that I was using that I have pan in is basically too light for me already. So really the only 3 shades that I can use from this palette are like these 3. Moving on to this palette, I think I only used this once. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Eye Ecstasy Sublime. I think the only use I got on this was using this shade one time, this green shade, in combination with an eyeshadow that lives in here but is in a different project. But yeah, this is another one that I really feel like I need to get a lot more use on. However, this is kind of just a side note, but this is something that I've been thinking about. I watch Dora, who is Fuchsia Soul, on YouTube. You probably also watch her if you watch me, but she, instead of using like traditional eyeshadow primer, I believe, at least for the most part, she uses No Budge, not specifically the No Budge ones from e.l.f., but like the budge proof eyeshadow sticks as her base. And I've noticed that this shade, this shade, they all look good with a few of the shades in here, like the 2 gold in this palette, or the gold and the bronze. If I just put one of these all over my eye and then top it with one of those shades, it looks really good. And because these are smudge proof, budge proof, they work just as well as a traditional eyeshadow primer, but they don't dull the shine and the sparkle from these shades, which would happen if you just put these on top of like the eyeshadow primer itself, or if you put this on top of a matte without a glitter glue. So if you put it on top of these, then you still keep like the same level of shine, and you get like a bit of a different color because these all have color to them. Long story short, I think a way that I can get use out of both these eyeshadow sticks and this palette is to just do that. So now that we're in summer, I'm probably going to be doing a lot more gold and bronze and copper looks. This cranberry shade is also a gold duochrome, so I can also use that one. I'm sure it would work just the same, but I suspect I'll be getting a lot more use on these shadows, those 3 in this palette, in the coming months. So yeah, no heavy use on this, but hopefully soon there will be. But the most exciting part of this update is my ABH Norvina, and that is because I was able to hit another pan in this shade called Volatile, and I hit this pan in this look that I did today. Like, I wasn't expecting to hit pan, but I think this is the first time I've used it since last update, so I was just one use away from hitting pan, I guess, which makes sense because I had been using this palette and I didn't hit any pans last time, and I was like, well, you know, these pans are pretty shallow and I've been hitting pan every update up until now, like, what's going on? I was literally one use away. So the shades that I'm wearing are, well, I set my eyeshadow primer with a shade from my Gemini palette. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention, if you notice, I completely scraped all the, let me talk about that first. I completely scraped this out, which I, like, in the beginning of the year scraped out Celestial and was refilling it with a loose powder because I was just using that as my lid setting shade and like my blending out shade, but I ran out of my powder, my face powder that I was using, so I literally just scraped it all out and put it into this compact so that I could use it as a setting powder for my face. So I no longer have that shade, but I'm panning a setting shade, setting shade in this palette anyway, so I don't really need it for now. Back to what I was saying. I set my lid and then I used Volatile all over my eye. I topped it with, I always forget what these shades are called, with this shade Dazzling, which is like my favorite look to do with this palette. And then on my inner corner, just cause, I put Dreamer. I don't really think it added anything special to the look, but I'm just trying to get use on that shade so I can hit pan because it is very shallow in there, and I know I can hit pan if I just use it a few more times, so maybe that will be the shade that has pan next time. And then I also like blended everything together with my pure nude highlighter. But yeah, that's the look that I have on today, which is why I was able to film this update, because I finally had progress and something to show you. I ran out of storage and had to delete some stuff, so I need to be quick, but I have to talk about my face palette. And this actually has another update up until, like, from when I first rolled this in January of 2025 up until last time, there had been no visual progress on this at all, because even with the dips I had, you couldn't see them on camera because they just wouldn't show up. But last time I showed you that I had a pan in the bronzer, which was not a real pan. It was just because I hit an air bubble from when I like frankened and pressed this. But since then, since 2 weeks ago, the pan has been expanding. I still haven't actually hit the pan, but I think I'm just like unearthing more of the air bubble every time I use it, which is exciting. But I also have another pan in this blush. I don't know if you can see it there. Same concept, like I just hit an air bubble. I didn't hit the actual pan, but I mean, it's something. Like, it's at least proof that I have been using these products, because I swear it felt like, even though I knew the truth, it kind of felt like I was lying to you every time I came back to update this video or this series, because it was just like, you not only can you not see anything, but it was just like I was never hitting pan. I have been using these, at least one of these blushes, every single day pretty much, because this is a bit of a spoiler. I am using a cream blush, but it's one of my lip products that's in my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and those just, I feel like, don't last very long or show up very well once I blend them in. So I have been topping them with a powder blush pretty much every day, and also, as you know, I've been using this bronzer and contour shade every day because about 3 months ago I finished the one that I was panning in my 26 and 2026. Again, that will change like by next update, because in a few days I will be, maybe even tomorrow, I will be filming the next update for that project, and that will include a new bronzer contour cream product. So I'll probably slow down on use for these two shades, but at least I have some visual progress as of now. But yeah, I have, and I've also been using this highlight fairly often. I would say maybe about half the days these past 2 weeks, but you just can't tell because you can never see anything in this palette. But yeah, I have been using this palette a lot compared to beginning of the year and like all of 2025, so I'm very happy with my use on this. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep chugging along, but I need to stop talking so that I don't run out of space again. Really quick, I'll do some predictions for next time. Like I said, I'm really hoping to have pan in the Dreamer shade, because I know from how many times I've repressed it in there, I know it's very shallow, and I'm using it in the center every single time, so I just know that I can have pan if I really focus on it. So I would say that would be my main goal for this palette. And then I feel like I'm also very close in Dazzling, which again is the shade that I have on my lids now. I just knocked this palette off my desk onto the floor, but it's totally fine. See, this like this packaging is so amazing. I've dropped this palette so many times and it has never once broken. I think I should go so nothing else chaotic happens, but I will see you in my next video, and until then I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.